Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragoon X Omega II. Sorry for the delay between episodes, but life got in the way and Sargon had a lot of grinding to do. I said I was going to grind to level 30, but I ended up grinding to level 33. Because the game basically wants you to get to basically level 35 to beat it. And so, even though I can basically take on this next dungeon at level 30, I'd probably still have to do some grinding afterwards to get to that level 35. So, instead I just figured I would just do my grinding while I was out in that cave with the renderers, and just get to a point where I figured I'd be close enough to that end goal of level 35. I hope that I was able to get maybe 2 levels in this final dungeon. I ended up getting almost 2 levels. I did get 1 level and got pretty close to another one, so after about another 10 minutes of grinding, which I'll do off screen, I did get to the 35, so next episode I'll be ready to take on the final dungeon. We've already seen a little bit of that final dungeon, but we'll actually go through the whole thing next episode. So, but in this episode we're going through the Deadpool dungeon, and this is where the source is located. The source is the thing that we need to power the teleporter to the Ark. The source, we were told, is so powerful that it's actually able to conquer death. Everyone who fell in the initial Great War when the monsters first came down from the Ark, they were all buried in this one area where the source is located, and the source basically caused them to become undead zombies. And these zombies, not wanting to actually die for good, guarding that source very closely. So, in that little dungeon there, that little cave, we had to hit that one switch. If you don't hit the switch, this bridge that's going to be to the north here doesn't appear. Pulling that switch causes the bridge to appear, and that'll take you into another small little area that'll take us to the Deadpool, which is that structure in the island to the east. So until we get to the Deadpool, we want to keep the pulse gun equipped, because the enemies going to the Deadpool are all mechanical. There's those Cabal monsters that we just saw, these Mensch monsters, and there are also the Render monsters that I was grinding on. They're all mechanical, so we'll get extra damage from using the pulse rifle. Once we get into the Deadpool, though, we'll equip the rail rifle, because it'll do more damage, as the enemies there aren't machines, but zombies. We are bound to protect this place. The bodies of those who died in the Great War lie below, as well as the source of their fate. The Ark is said to house a power source of unimaginable might. It harnesses the power of a collapsed star to bend space and time. The power source of the teleporter lies deep in the catacombs. It somehow animates the bodies of the casualties of the Great War. Be careful in the catacombs. The living dead will rend intruders to shreds. Well, that's why we had to do that level grinding, so we can survive the undead. Another beta there. Once again, that restores your magic, your PSI points. So we're on our way, still keeping the pulse rifle here, because until we actually get into the Deadpool, we won't need to de-equip it. Still gonna keep running to mechanical enemies. So here's the first of the undead monsters that we run into, the Minion. And I forgot to equip the rail rifle, but I will for the coming up. So if you don't equip the rail rifle, say you didn't sell it and keep the pulse rifle, as you can see, the pulse rifle still does decent damage, but the rail rifle will do a little bit more damage overall. So we have Meta. I guess that's a throwback to the Meta Knights that Nico was part of. although she was technically the last Meta Knight, according to Dragoon X Omega II. So I don't know where these Meta Knights come from, but it's a nice little throwback. So now we'll equip the rail rifle and then head through the rest of this area. Somewhat of a small area, so we don't really need any of the things in here. We are going to find another gun, the gravity gun, but it's a little weaker than the rail rifle, and we're also going to find some armor, the spline armor, but that's weaker than the Argus armor that we got in the ice lab, the final dungeon. So technically don't need to be looking for the treasure in here, but like I said, I'm 100% in the game, so I'll be getting all that treasure. Unfortunately, we can't walk over the bones, so we're gonna have to make our way through this little maze of bones to reach this treasure chest, which contains an opta. Speaking of optas, while I was grinding, when I had to return to an inn to restore my PSI points, I'd always run to Sanzir, where the optas were available for purchase, and now I just basically spend all my money on optas. I pretty much bought so many optas that I should be able to max out my agility, psych, and luck at 99, assuming that I get a stat growth in each of those stats at each level up. If I don't, then I can always just buy more optas later. Not like those stats really do all that much, like I said. Other than agility, the other two are bugged and don't do anything. So there we got another armor. I just threw away that Fornix accessory because we don't really need that for healing. We want to, like I said, we'll sell this spline armor for more money, in case we have to buy any more of those optas later on. We'll also end up selling that grav gun. Now we'll heal ourselves up because we have to take on a new boss. Now, if you did sell your railgun, you could equip that grav gun. They'll deal a little more damage than the pulse rifle to this guy. The carry-on. So he has a few spells that he can use, so we're going to want to use the Agnost ability to reduce the damage. Also use the shield ability to reduce the amount of damage that his physical attacks do. Some new abilities that he has there are Origa, which heals between 50 to 200 hit points for him, and another ability that he doesn't have, but one of the earlier enemies had, was Boar, which is an attack that does between 45 to 180 damage. So, this boss will fight just like we have been in the other bosses. We will buff ourselves up with Shield, Agnost, and Shadow, and then add Blitz to ourselves to allow us to hit him twice per turn. And then we just fire away at him, and it's a little tough, like I said, to keep track of the hit points that he has, because I'll occasionally use that Origa, and you don't know how you don't know how much is healing. Like I said, at most it can do 200, the minimum 50. So whenever we cast Dogma, we want to reapply Agnost to ourselves, because Dogma removes that Agnost boost. So we want to, like I said, reduce the amount of damage he can do. If we need to heal, we can just use the Aura Tap. If you get hit by an unlucky critical and get really low on health at this level that I'm at, 33, I do have one casting of the level 8 spells, so I can cast the Aura's spell, which restores herself to full hit points, basically the Cure 4 of this game. I end up not needing it, so I can show off one of the new spells that we got, the Nova spell, which is like the nuke spell in Final Fantasy 1. We just so happen to use that to defeat the carry-on. We get another level. It's a good level up because everything we get good stats, strength and vitality. That's a very important. Strength, of course, deals the amount of damage that we can do, and vitality determines how many hit points we get on level ups. So, too bad you can't find to buy items to increase them, but Sargon's stats looking pretty good, and like I say, he's pretty close to getting another level. So, we'll just outwarp. I'll actually go through this tunnel again, and because I noticed that I accidentally cut out a little bit of this tunnel here. So, but it's a straightforward shot, so I just cut out this little horizontal hallway there. But head through it, head back to this place where the robots are. I'm going to head back to that cave, and I'm going to sell off my gear, sell off that spline armor, because we still have another accessory that we want to get in the ice lab. When we went into the ice lab in previous episodes, there was a way you could just head it straight up, but instead we went to the left. Heading straight up basically takes you to a dead end, but at that dead end we'll find the Vermis implant. And Vermis prevents the stare status from being used on you. And the final boss of the game, the Neverborn, is going to use stairs, so it's really important that we have that in our inventory. But we're going to have to make space for that inventory, so we'll end up selling the spline armor and then grabbing that accessory. We'll almost gain a level while doing that. Yeah, up until level 35, enemies ain't going to really be running from you in the ice lab. So, but like I said, once you hit that level 35, we get to the point where Sargon's stats override the enemy's morale check, and they just start running away. So it's a little harder to farm enemies. So you could, of course, keep fighting them in the ice lab to get the future levels, like, because we're going to have to get to level 40 to take on the monster back in Edengard, that one bonus boss monster, and then level 45 to take on the bonus dungeon, the nuclear plant. So we're still going to have to do some level grinding after we beat the game. So could keep fighting in the arc there, or we can just head back probably to that cave where all the vendors are. They were guaranteed not to run. Let's head into the ice lab here. Like I said, we're going to, instead of going left, we'll head straight up and grab that Vermis implant. Get a little bit of preview of an arc if we didn't already go into the back part of the lab. We didn't already go there, but there we got the Vermis. And like I said, that'll be very important to negate the stare spell that the Neverborn will use. There's still one more implant left to get, but that one's right outside where we fight that bonus boss, and not really necessary for right now. So I'm going to make a save here, and then I'll meet you back here at level 35 to take on the final dungeon and take on the Neverborn. Take care, have a good one. Thanks for following along. Sorry for the delayed episodes. Bye.